Mackinnon is set to host the first ever Christmas special here with one of the biggest, most requested matches on the channel so far. It is going to be a cracker. It is the Northern Hemisphere versus the Southern Hemisphere. Hello and welcome to the first ever Christmas special here on Cornflake's Crib, where I hope you're having a fantastic holiday season with family and friends and are enjoying everything very much from this time of the year. Now this is maybe a day early for some of you in the Northern Hemisphere, being a day behind New Zealand here, so consider this an early Christmas present from me to you guys and to all of you watching, as a bit of a thank you as well for all the support you've given the channel over the last year, and it has been fantastic, really enjoyable, and well, I hope this is a nice thank you for you guys, a match that is very much requested quite a lot, and it's great to finally have a mod with the capability of bringing this to you. This is the IRB 104 mod, which I'll be reviewing very soon, so check that out. It has Northern and Southern Hemisphere squads already in it, which you will see them very soon. But today, these squads onto the match now. For the Northern Hemisphere, this is teams picked from the IRB World 15 that was selected recently at the IRB Awards. So what happened there is 3 players from each position were selected into the team of the year, nominated if you will, and then from that 1 player was selected for each position. So I've used those 45 players and that initial nominees to pick out 2 squads as best as I can for this match. So if you don't like the squad, blame the IRB. The Northern Hemisphere today, well, they've got a lot of mixed bag players here. A lot of them living up from earlier in the Lions season, and a lot of them as well living off the recent autumn internationals, coming from form throughout those. Of course, this team here, also we have a substitute bench of notable inclusions for players who have just missed out on the squad. We have Debati, Cole, Hartley, Laws, Robshaw, Ladlaw, Roberts and Clark on the substitutes bench to go alongside this 15, which will be captained by none other than Sergio Parisi. The Southern Hemisphere, on the other hand, has a very nice looking squad. As you'd expect, there is a few players, I won't say a lot, a few selections in here which I really had to toss up for a long time who would be picked. 9 and 10 combination, that was a big one. Aaron Smith, how do you pick him over Guinea? And of course Cruden and Cooper. Oh, the number 10s, it's such a tight selection to this squad, but this is what we've gone with today, and Argentina will probably be a pretty happy team seeing this squad with 2 players in the front row, with Iherza and of course Figalo coming in on the front of the scrum. So a lot of talking points in these 2 squads today. Remember, if you want to discuss what you think your team would be, what changes should be made, put that in the comments below. Feel free to have a discussion, but we are underway here with Sexton kicking us off, and it is the Northern Hemisphere in the blue and black, mainly blue, as Fofana's got us off to a great start for the Northern Hemisphere, and it is the Southern Hemisphere playing in the predominantly darker colours. As away we go, what a start to this match from the Northern Hemisphere. Back into the game, we got Sexton firing it out wide. Savia on Tommy Bow. Grubber kicks ahead with Falau. What a chase from Bow. And boy, this match has just exploded into action already. So the jerseys, if you missed it because there was too much happening, the Southern Hemisphere playing in the black, mainly black, predominantly black. The Northern Hemisphere playing in the predominantly blue coloured shirts today. And of course opposite shorts for the matchup, and we are cranking into this game. Fofana has had a cracking start already as O'Brien passes it off nicely for Davies. We can finally settle into the game now with the Northern Hemisphere clearly on top of this one. Sexton kicks it away, trying to play the territory game. The Southern Hemisphere yet to touch the ball, and well, Sexton, again, like we're saying, there's a lot of positions that I know people will be fired up about. But it's so many classy players as it's taken at the front of the line out, and Smith and Cruden combined with Lealiafano. Messam, here's Lowe, Francois Lowe, quality players, South Africans combining with De Villiers and Ben Smith with an early chance on the right wing. And what a revelation that man has been for the All Blacks this season. Try scoring phenomenon has Ben Smith. So it's halfway, and it's Hibberd who will throw to the front of the line out and taken down. Davies goes wide, very wide, all the way to Bow, who's kicked it across field 2, straight into the hands of Ben Smith, who has been hammered. Good tackle coming in. Here's Figalo, the prop, will play it out to the left side for Lowe. It's a beef, such a superstar in the making. It's a beef. Here's Savia, trying to bustle his way through. Lealiafano has to come from nowhere to claim that ball. One of the few Australians in the starting 15, but there's plenty of them in this squad as Ben Smith comes across. Michael Hooper, a man who, well, noticeable omission here as we go wide for Severe again, who bustles through one tackle. Just so many quality sevens going around the circuit at the moment in international rugby. Lealiafano spots a little half gap on his run and gets taken down from the defence. The North looking to turn this over, and they do. Parise, good pass, straight out for Bow. Tommy Bow going for the line, gets taken down from Ben Smith, and this is a great start here. Parter, good short pass for O'Brien, who gets driven backwards, and a good tackle from Reed. And turnover ball. Ihertz gives it away to Lealiafano, who kicks it downfield all the way to Halfpenny, who sits and waits. Nominated for World Player of the Year, Halfpenny. Here's Davies coming back, using the full numbers on the field. Eventually it comes, for a knock on to Bow. And that was a poor end to it. Reed, Lealiafano, Duplessis. Best hooker in the game, Duplessis. Sevilla changes his tactics this time, doesn't back his strength. Chips and chases. Francois Lowe, oh boy, he was close to getting that ball. But Parise will go back and give it to Sexton. Cruden was wrong-footed by that pass, it seemed. And Jonathan Sexton pumps it downfield for some clearance. And it will be the Southern Hemisphere of the line-out throw. Duplessis, nicely to Smith. Smith dummies again, goes for the line, does Aaron Smith, but his pass is intercepted from none other than Sexton. Nice ball to Launchbury, probably the best English player from the end of year tour. And he frees it off nicely, but who was there but Francois Lowe? Brilliant intercept, brilliant turnover of the ruck. Here's De Villiers, outside to Ben Smith, who will open the scoring for the Southern Hemisphere. Who else would score a try in this iconic match but Ben Smith? Him and De Villiers have combined very well in this match already, and you see it there, drawing in North off his wing, and Ben Smith, such a classy finisher, gets the job done. But that was De Villiers. That was all De Villiers. The South African at the top of his game, such a great player. And who would have thought that you could ever see this? De Villiers combining with Ben Smith to score the try that will give Christian Lealiafano a shot at the conversion. And would you expect anything less from Lealiafano? What a player. He nails the conversion. It's 7-0 to the Southern Hemisphere. And that is really a sight to behold. The South African setting up the New Zealander to score in the corner, and the Australian slotting the kick to make it 7-0. Now here is De Villiers again with a great ball to Cruden, who goes through a couple of tackles. Parise's all over that, and so is O'Brien, and they've turned that over in the ruck brilliantly. That try also noted, Francois Lowe's turnover is what created that. Here's Whitelock, Cruden, Away to De Villiers. Du Plessis, the South Africans again. Here's Ihertsa. Oh, bad pass back to Liliafano. That was kind of opening up for them there. As half-time goes already, what a match we've had. It's a beat. Cruden, De Villiers. Not the best pass, but Reed's open for it. Here's Ben Smith again. Where's his support? He won't go it all himself. Du Plessis passes over the top, and it's eventually come down. Oh, it's intercepted from De Villiers. Here's Figalo, combining with his countryman. Ihertsa, the two props. Messam will play halfback. Liliafano eyes a half gap. Cruden, not the best pass. Severe comes back nicely, and Whitelock takes the tackle.
Release.
Trouble here for the South. They don't look like, no, they're not going to keep this ball. And back it goes to Sexton, who is going to send this into touch. The pass coming back from Jones, and the two Argentinians lead the teams off the field, with North and Parise having a little chat there as well. Interesting stuff with all these countries combining together for one fantastic matchup. We thought it would be close. You had to think it was going to be close. Just an absolute smorgasbord of quality players here today. Is this a best of 3 series? A best of 5? Is it a one-off here at Twickenham? Well, you guys can decide that, because if you love this match, you want to see more of the North and the South battling it out, feel free to leave your comments below. Of course, on the teams, and of this being maybe more often with the North versus the South. Let's have a look at the stats here, and the Southern Hemisphere is nudging out the territory and possession, but the handling errors are plentiful with 10-4, which won't please either side. The line breaks though 7-3, and you have to say Ben Smith and Liliafano are having quite a good day out there with the ball in hand. As for the North, not much going their way so far with the mistakes, but Tommy Bow and Fofana have broken the line a few times, but their forwards just don't seem to be combining too well. But I would have thought better with the Lions front row and some quality players throughout their whole team. But there's still 40 minutes to go, and we all know anything can happen. Let's cross back down to the action and get the second half underway. So Cruden, well, you have to think about Cruden here. Displacing Carter, in my opinion, by virtue of playing more matches more consistently as he kicks off, and Aaron Smith brilliantly plucks it out of the air for the Southern Hemisphere. But the support is very slow coming from the other side. Here we go, advantage for the South. Forward pass as Bow tries to sneak through. Well, that was interesting. Will we see a replay? There's Parise, forward pass to Bow.
Touch.
But the Northern Hemisphere are getting a good chunk of ruck turnovers as our first scrum of the match settles down. And how good are this Argentine front row? They have been outstanding all year. Aaron Smith to De Villiers. De Villiers is going to run the slice the line up. Is he going all the way? No, he's cut down just from Fofana. Liliafano will have a go. Oh, he smashed. Big heavy tackle from Halfpenny. Here's Ihertsa. Ihertsa for the line. He's got to score for the Southern Hemisphere. It's 2 tries now. The big Argentine prop has burrowed his way over. And how impressive has that man been, Ihertsa? That was spectacular. That tackle was brilliant. Liliafano got hammered and he stayed down too. But play on, and play on they did. Even the play before that, De Villiers looked like he was going all the way, but an outstanding tackle from Fofana stopped him in his tracks as well. And in the end, a desperate tackle from Picamoles, who we've hardly mentioned today as well. Not enough to stop Ihertsa from going over the line and scoring the Southern Hemisphere's second try. Surprisingly, a flourish at the start for the North is the best we've had to come from them so far. There's still over half an hour to go, so don't count them out just yet. These brilliantly designed kits too for both these two teams. And we are set to get back underway. 14-0, the Southern Hemisphere leads the North as Sexton kicks off, and Leleafano, oh, brilliantly took that off and went straight through a little gap, but turned over again. Parise playing halfback, and Tommy Bowe's kicked for the corner. And it's a decent nudge too from Bowe. Interesting stat from the selection to these teams is the Northern Hemisphere struggling to put up a right winger. Line out coming in again to the front. Aaron Smith to Cruden. De Villiers, tackle taken to Ben Smith. Around it goes to Lowe. Back inside Messam. Oh, that's not the best. Struggling here the South. Leleafano, big hole for him. Oh, and that is a nasty tackle on Christian Leleafano. Oh, well, that is a get out of jail free card there, because they were struggling to get away, and Cruden will have a chance to pump this upfield. And the question to be put to the side is it a fair enough representation of an unbeaten All Black side this season? Well, I'll leave that for you all to discuss, as again Etzebeth takes another line out brilliantly, and Leleafano cutting them in half to De Villiers. These two have been absolutely spectacular today, cutting this Northern Hemisphere defence into shreds. Messam, Ben Smith cuts back the other way. Ben Smith looking for Lowe. The support's there. He goes wider still. Leleafano for the corner. Counted as a try. The Southern Hemisphere are putting on a display here at Twickenham. That was very good. And this is why these guys are the best players in the world. The support play from Francois Lowe was outstanding. That is why he is in the number 7 jersey. His speed, his power, but his presence on the field to know where he needs to be puts him right up there for this year. Leleafano, what can you say about him? His kicking is, well, near on perfect, but his play in the general field is also top standard, and he has been one of the better finds for the Australians in recent time. He's got another shot at goal here. His job's not done yet. Conversion of the try that he scored from way out wide, and it's like nothing to him. He just swings that foot through the ball, and count 2 more points, 21-0. Doing it in a canter here, the Southern Hemisphere. Sexton kicks off, this time very high. Oh, very good kickoff. Messam just gets to it. Cruden gets the dodgy old pass. Oh, look at this. Ahurtsa out by himself. He's got support from Lowe and Reed. They're going to charge up. They change their mind now. Whitelock taking it off the back. Duplessis. Oh, there's numbers to burn out here. It's De Villiers again. De Villiers has been outstanding. Ben Smith, we saw him do a little move just like that against the Springboks earlier this season. Oh, but this time they've lost out. No support around the ball. And away goes Para. Tackled from Aaron Smith. Jones back to Sexton, who has just not had the run of the play today at all. Still on halfway for the North. Hibbard, short ball, and absolutely hammered was Pickamoles. Figalo taking him high and giving away the penalty. So all you Northern Hemisphere fans out there, I know there is a good chunk of you too. How do you rate this team? Do you want to see, well, possibly, can we say it too early, but revenge here for the North against the South? Because 21-0, 8 minutes remaining, and a line out that is, oh, very close to being stolen, but nicely taken from Launchbury, and he has mauled himself into touch to give the ball away to the Southern Hemisphere. And they will be able to grind this game to a halt here. Duplessis to Etzebeth. Those two are outstanding. Savia. Haven't seen much from Savia, but oh, brilliant offload. Liliafano. Oh, how did he do that? This is, oh, brilliant intercept from Parise. I was about to say that this is just freakish football from some of these players, but Parise not to be outdone. Just put in an immaculate intercept. Here we go, Hibbert, short ball to the captain, Parise, involved in everything. Wanting a hands on the ball. Here's Sexton. Oh, that is a massive hit from Aaron Smith. And he's going to pay the price for it too. He will sit out the remainder of the match. Hand in the pocket. What's the colour? It is yellow for Aaron Smith. Captain de Villiers, well, understandably not happy with that, but the match is all but done here as Hibbert tries to go through the defence on the right-hand side. Sexton, oh, gets man and ball. Here's Jones. Trying to go through low, can't get away. Kubasero, we've hardly mentioned him at all. Oh, brilliant play, just about finding Bow. Keeping it alive here. Fofana's been intercepted. Here's Cruden taking the tackle. Oh, brilliant. That is very good from the Northern Hemisphere. Numbers to the breakdown. Another high tackle on North. And it's going to be Reed now who will sit out the rest of this match. So a nasty end to this fixture. A couple of yellow cards. And the Northern Hemisphere will want some points. Sexton goes and dummies. Gives it nicely off to Pickamoles, who scores for Northern Hemisphere. And they get a little bit of reward. The game is all gone here. But Pickamoles gets a little consolation for the Northern Hemisphere. The Frenchman, oh, that was brilliant. Through a couple of tackles too. We'll see it here. There we go. Folau took out Sexton. And oh, he goes through low and through Figalo. And that is a brilliant effort. A little bit of back for the North, but this match has been done and dusted. It's 13 on 15, and Halfpenny, first time we've seen him involved, really does his one job very well, nailing the kick. 21-7, and it is all over. The Southern Hemisphere have done a brilliant job here. A very clinical display against the Northern Hemisphere. The match really went in swings and roundabouts here, but the majority, the middle chunk, the important chunk, and the fact that they scored more points was for the Southern Hemisphere. The North started off very well. They got involved and they were right on the line for a large period, but couldn't put some points in the bank, which I think cost them in the long run. If they came out of that situation with at least 3 points, well, the result could have been different on another day, but not to be. They couldn't take the points. The South turned the tide, went back down the other way, got a brilliant first up try to Ben Smith, and from there they never looked back, continuing to dominate the match. Tries coming in secondly for Ihertza, and then Christian Liliafano finishing the job with the third try for the Southern Hemisphere. Liliafano was perfect with the boot, as one would expect. 3 from 3 for him, and that wrapped up their 21 points. The Northern Hemisphere, disappointing display from them. Not too many players stood out. Pickamoles, the try scorer, broke numerous tackles. Parise, the captain, was in absolutely everything throughout the whole day. Halfback on so many occasions, burning runs through the middle of the defence. He was very good, but the backs didn't really fire. Fofana made a few early breaks, and Tommy Bow, well, he had a couple of shots at it with some dinky little kicks, but nothing really come off. North was contained completely from Ben Smith, and apart from that, there wasn't much to write home about for the Northern Hemisphere. O'Brien was also very good. Sean O'Brien, a lot of turnovers at the rucks as well, but he was very well matched by Francois Lowe, who was equally as good. So that wraps us up for today's game. We'll have a quick look at the final stats. The Northern Hemisphere losing out just a little more ground from half time, with a little bit less time on the ball in the attacking half, which will disappoint them after dominating so early, so long. Handling errors was a bit of an issue, you'd think, with the top class players of the world, 16 to the south and 7 to the north. Not the best, but all up 105 tackles. That is huge, a huge amount of tackles for this match. And that wraps us up for the Christmas special Rugby Challenge 2, Northern Hemisphere, going down 21-7 to the Southern Hemisphere. And that wraps us up for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, and I hope to see you plenty more throughout the remainder of this year, and of course plenty more rugby for next year as well. So thank you all for watching again. Thanks for supporting the channel, giving your comments. Remember, let me know if you want to see more of these North versus South matches and what you think of the squads. Start some discussion up as to who you think the top 15 would be for each side from 2013, and maybe we'll have another rematch from these two sides. So thanks you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Remember to hit that subscribe button to see plenty more rugby, and I will see you next time, wherever we may be. Until then, take care.